Welcome, one and all, to this edition of the Xfl Stl Live Show. We are back. It's Wednesday night. Yes, it's our new night, Wednesday night here at One Universal Production. I am the A-Train Arlington Lane, and over to, the prediction with the In the Zone Network as well. This is the Xfl Stl Live Show.
What's up?
I'm the A-Train Arlington Lane. As you can see right next to me is Dirty, the professional, professional.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Come on, dog. I mean, what's wrong with you?
It's been a couple weeks, man.
Well, let's get it out of the air. We're in a new studio.
As you
like the studio?
Yeah, man. I'm digging.
You digging the TV? Our TV right here? Oh, this way, right there. I know, but I keep hitting my hand.
Yeah,
it's our floating TV. It's floating right over us.
The damn TV.
I know, right? God damn it! What's wrong with me?
Stop hitting the damn TV.
No, as you know, we broadcast out of the Limp Brewery right down over here in St. Louis, the historic Limp Brewery. And if we have storms, it takes out our internet.
Yeah,
and so that's what happened.
Damn.
So that's
storms.
Why I know, right? That's why we had no show last week, because we had no fucking internet.
Damn storms.
So yeah, but we're live.
We're live.
A lot has went on.
Yes,
in the past few days.
And since we've been away, what was it? The 14th was the
13th.
13th, yeah.
13th was our showcase.
And it's been a while.
Big shout out to everybody at Xfl St. Louis.
Yeah,
they treated us like we were
royalty.
Exactly. We got a lot of great compliments. A lot of people were like, man, we love what you guys have been doing. I was surprised that a lot of people had seen our show.
Big shout out to Miles Bateman.
Yes.
Miles Bateman is a big fan of this show here.
Well, you know who else is a big fan of our show? The one, the only, the man who is going to outsell everybody in jerseys. The one, the only, the great Jeremiah Spencer.
Spicer. Yeah, there's Mr. Spicer. Yes.
Spicer. Love that man. That man is awesome.
Hey, and if you have not, folks, been at XFL on Twitter, they are giving this guy so much love.
Oh, my God. Love ain't the word for it.
So much love, man.
Am I right, though?
Yeah.
They are loving this dude.
Yeah, and so pretty soon, you look like we're going to be getting jerseys with Jeremiah Spicer.
You know, even if he doesn't come to St. Louis, right, I'm still getting the jersey because, man, I have to. The dude's the real deal. Nicest guy in the world. We're trying to work him and getting him back on the show because we had some problems with audio feed and stuff like that. You know, it happens. We're a live show, man. Yes,
indeed. And you know what? I want to thank Stephanie Rudnick.
Yes, most definitely.
I want to thank Stephanie Rudnick for having all of us come out there. You know, we in the Zone Network, Alliance to XFL STL. A football world was there.
Yes, our boy Dave.
Dave was out there. Will Freeman, of course, our contributor.
That's right.
Big ups to him. He was there. You know, and I was.
What? What?
You didn't see what I saw, but I'm gonna leave it out.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Didn't he? It looked like he was silver dollaring in his pants, didn't he? Huh?
We got another whole thing going on here, but back to the subject at hand is that those that were there, they treated us like royalty.
Like we were royalty, man. And I mean, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it, you know. What is going on here?
Yeah. Something with the video, man.
Yeah, I'll do this real quick. Do it that way. Okay. But yeah, so big thanks and big shout out to all of them. I mean, and what I was really impressed was, man, is they gave us the opportunity to talk to Oliver Luck with just us and In the Zone.
The best commissioner on the planet.
He's better than yours.
He is better than your commissioner.
That is right. He is way better than your commissioner.
And the game ain't even started yet.
No.
And he's better than your commissioner.
He's just that damn good.
He is better than your commissioner.
Right?
So I'm going to tell you right now, Oliver is right now on cloud 9. You know what I mean?
Yes, he is.
He has a wonderful league that he is putting together, and they're taking their time with it. Which, speaking of which, I'm going to get right into it. My man John Turner over at a Football World, he sent his representative Dave Burnett, which we got to see on that day. He had an article through XFL2K.com. Big ups to XFL2K.com and Stefan Ratchet. It was based off of why followers of the XFL are getting a little impatient.
Okay.
About it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and get it. There's no point. Might as well get started with it. And he wrote an article called "Patience is a Virtue for the XFL Team Names."
Yes, absolutely.
Now, for the longest time, Oliver Luck has continuously said when the names are going to drop.
Correct.
Then, now, whether you want to sit there and say he looks like a liar at this point, fine.
Say whatever you want.
That's your prerogative.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing. If you are a true follower of the XFL, you don't give one damn when those XFL team names are going to come out.
Yes, you're right. You don't.
You don't care.
You really don't. I don't.
I don't either.
Because I like how they're taking their time to make this to make it the best product that they can.
Did you not see what happened to the Alliance of American Football?
Yeah, to me it seemed like I listen. We both watched the Alliance.
Yes.
To me it felt like the Alliance was rushed. That's just my opinion.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm right. But I just felt like it was rushed. Mm-hmm. But that was just me.
Correct. And we're going to get Al from Springfield on the line in a little bit. But before we do that, I have been a big proponent since January 25th, 2018. You was like, well, what does that day mean? That was the day that the announcement of the XFL was returning.
Yes, exactly.
And when that day happened, I said that I'm going to be down with this league no matter what.
You're absolutely right. Live or die. We're going to live or die this.
I'm living or dying this.
Yes.
And yes, my man, Al, I read your article. I read your article.
It was a very good article. Al did a very good job. I loved it. I thought it was a great article on how he did it.
Yes. Basically, what he wanted everybody to see was not only just the history about St. Louis football, how much we cared for it, which has been an ongoing thing.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But he wanted to show that it's a grassroots movement. All right. And that means that local media outlets will not be behind it.
No, they won't.
They're not going to be behind it right now because they don't believe in it.
Nope. And it's funny that you said that because afterwards I talked to the commissioner or the president of XFL STL, and I just keep hitting my head on the TV. Kurt. And I was like, Kurt, how do you feel that, it hasn't been getting a lot of traction here in St. Louis and all that stuff? He's like, you know what? He goes, now I have something to take to the people and take to the masses, and now I'm going to get something.
And that's what's been amazing with him is that Kurt has Heinecker.
Yes, Kurt Heinecker.
Heinecker has said...
That's why you're the professional one.
He has said that he had his thing in minor league baseball.
Yep.
And told us about some wonderful...
Off the record, which we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, some wonderful stories about some things that he did while he was in minor league baseball. And, that is what he wants to translate into with the XFL.
Correct.
And so now he's going to get that opportunity. And the biggest thing, and big ups to Ashley Wright for her interview with Coach John Hayes and then with Oliver Luck. She mentioned about what was the community.
Yes.
It's going to be with the community. They're going to work with them.
I'll tell you what, that girl, I've listened to her show. Let's give her a free plug. What is her show?
Oh, Sports with Ashley on the InnerZone Network.
I'll tell you what, man, that girl, it just keeps getting better and better every time. And this is the first time that I've worked with her. And just the way that she feeds off of everything.
Yeah.
Like she fed right off of one of my questions.
Yes, she did.
Right there to Coach Hayes. And I mean, big ups.
Right.
Big ups to that girl.
And it was her first scrum. So it was actually a big moment for her.
Yes, it was.
And so, she got her opportunities to talk with the commissioner and talk with Coach Hayes and got an idea of what to look forward to in the future when it gets to the XFL. If you got a question, you can always, or comment, you can call us at 314-448-9670, and that number is down at the bottom, 314-448-9670. We want to hear from you, the people.
That is absolutely correct. We do. And you can hit us up in the chat.
On YouTube.
Or I shared it over to our Facebook page, so we're on Facebook. We got our Facebook going also.
Yeah.
So it's all over there, so go check us out everywhere you want to go.
You can check out the show there.
And there's one video I do want to play. I do want to play the Coach Hayes video.
Okay.
Because it was actually quite funny.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that.
You loved it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
I got a kick out of it. I really did.
Here's my thing. Listen, man. These guys, they want to act like they're Johnny fucking hard ass and all that stuff or whatever, right? And because, we're the little guy, but, here's how I look at it, man. What have you guys done? What have you guys done? You haven't been giving the XFL any props like we have, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. With for those that did go out there and do the story, before you
I paused it.
Yeah, so that went out to go check out the XFL. I wish they got behind it a long time ago.
I do too, man. It would have been great,
especially the network that it's going to be on.
Yes, exactly.
Fox.
Right.
I'm just leave it at that. Fox, you know who you are.
Right. And you want to hear the best part about it, though? See, we were there live. All the news channels were there live, but guess who got their videos up first? Xfl Talk Show.
As a matter of fact, let's go to it right now, and then we're going to get our man Al on the line. We'll talk about his segment. Here's Coach Hayes.
I'm Bertie with the Xfl Talk Show. Hey, Bertie. All right. I'm Bertie. I don't know how to answer that, but how are you doing, lady?
Ashley.
All right.
Her own thing.
Nice. I like it.
And there's our girl Ashley right there.
She is, exactly,
and
man.
there's the great Stephanie standing right there next to
That is who helped us out a lot. So
Stephanie, much love to you, girl.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for your entire support.
All right, so let's get back to the video.
Yes.
All right. Talking a little bit about obviously you've got over 100 games there. How did you put the pool together? How much was it you guys listening to you? How much was it reaching out saying, we want you to come in so we can take a look at it?
Well, so through the league itself, we have players we already have names and how we put it together, and we have rankings, and within those rankings, that's where they come into play. And then it was invite only, and then we had some other guys also come out after we had set the first roster, and then we asked some more guys to come out. So for what I understand, this has been the biggest one they've had so far this showcase.
So let's pause it real quick.
Okay.
The biggest one so far is what he said. So when we talked to Oliver Luck,
yes,
off camera, we had asked him how many. He said it was almost 160 guys that came and tried out.
Correct.
For this. The biggest one so far, he said, and we had the largest fan participation than in any other city.
What did we tell you was going to happen when we did this? Before it even transpired, that at St. Louis was going to have not only the biggest crowd,
that's right,
but it was going to have the most participants.
That's right.
We said that this was going to be the big one. That's why, like what you say, they was going to do what?
They was going to bow down to us. We'll play.
Save the best for last.
That's right. They saved the best for last. And so let's get back to the video.
Go for it.
Like that him as a showcase. Does this mean that St. Louis will be looking at him as a running back, or all teams still have bids on him? How does that play out?
Well, I think too, you got to remember, being in the Midwest, a lot of these guys, it's an easier drive for them to come here than to go somewhere else, going to New York or DC or, Tampa if they're not from that area. So the shortest drive sometimes
Good work on the camera, Will.
Why they came here.
So you're going to be battling with the other coaches for some of these guys.
All about that, because we have a draft.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be in the pool for the draft, and that's part of it. And so saying that, but you still got to do your due diligence on all these players and make sure you understand which one of them will fit us the best.
And is this the first time I think we've seen some of these guys at the other showcases, right?
On tape, correct. Yes, that's correct. So, as the showcases have gone on Monday we get the tape of the last showcase, and we can start evaluating and put it together. And we also have tape with these guys, whether it's college or in the AAF. So that also gives us an opportunity to look at them, put them in situations and see how they fit us.
Coach, with St. Louis starved for football, and now that we have the XFL, do you think that the success here is going to translate to the entire league? Do you think if there's more success here in St. Louis, it will help the league?
Well, more success here will help me keep my job. Let's be quite frank. Let's be honest about life.
You're doing well enough.
I'm not coming out here to be second fiddle to anyway. I promise you that. And we're going to put.
What now?
I want one of those shirts.
I do too, man. It's a badass shirt.
And that hat. Give me
That's
that
right.
hat,
All right,
man.
here comes our girl Ashley is getting ready to come up right after this, which she let in. This question I asked them was a great follow-up question compared to those other guys.
A product on the field that is going to give us the best opportunity and best chance to be the most competitive team that we possibly can be. And in doing that, that's why we're going through this process today to make sure we can find players that will fit us the best to allow us the best chance to win.
Coach, what do you think about the reception here in St. Louis, given that the history in football has kind of diminished in previous years?
Well, at my press conference, I went through the 5 teams. We're the 5th road team in the city. And we have to develop this trust here in this city. But they also have to come out and continue to keep building and supporting us. And as long as we can grow in our relationship with the community, I think that will come. Like I said, I can't control what happened in the past, but we're going to the future, and that's the most important part to us. What's it, John?
Great question by Ashley and a really good follow-up question by Ashley with after what I asked, because it was basically about the same thing about the success of how the XFL, how she feels the XFL is going to do here in St. Louis.
Correct.
So it was a great follow-up question for her by her. Now, you heard what Coach Hayes said, that his reception, the more success will help me keep my job.
Right.
And Coach Hayes has a very positive attitude about this and sees that it's going to go a lot further than he thinks it's going to go.
As a matter of fact, we got a comment from Stacy. She said more success will help him keep his job, which is awesome, and love his attitude. And that's the point. It's about building something special. This is for not just the league itself, but for St. Louis, how huge this really is.
Right, yeah. And there's our man.
We got, yes, I like what Rainbow 98 just said.
Oh, there goes Ray. Listen, Ray. Ray's my boy from California. I met him at All Out. Ray, we're gonna smack LA. We're gonna bend them over, and we're gonna have our way with LA. That's just all there is to it, Ray. But if you get Jeremiah Spicer, I'll root for him.
Right,
except when they play St. Louis.
I hate it every time he's gonna hit the quarterback, man. Like,
right.
For real, I'm gonna be sitting there sad. But yeah,
there's our man Will right there.
Yeah, and Dave is up there. And he said, "I love that everyone at the Summer Showcase excited," and we are. As a matter of fact, being there was probably one of the best experiences for me as a up and coming grassroots movement.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, Arlington, we are on that ground floor of the grassroots because there's no other show like what we're doing.
Correct.
On the internet.
It's correct.
I keep looking every day, and there's nothing like that.
And that means we are the start.
That's right. We are the start, and we are part of the grassroots. And it was really great when we were out there, how we ran into people who were actually watching our show.
That was amazing.
And said, hey, we love what you guys are doing. And I mean, it was amazing. It really, and it's like you said, to really be there at that grassroots, because you were kind of like a celebrity within the zone, and then everybody's like,
golly, man.
Everybody's like, oh, you're part of the XFL talk show too? Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, I love what you guys are doing. They're like, well, where's this guy Dirty at? And then I was meeting people, and they were like, Coach Hayes loves me.
He said, with a name like Dirty, he could not pass
That's right. I'm Coach Hayes' man. Coach Hayes loves me.
You might be his official PR guy. I don't know.
be. Coach Hayes is the man.
Yeah.
That's a big dude. He is a monster.
Man, to be playing with the Kansas City Chiefs. But
you know what, though? And Coach Hayes can beat your coach in a street fight. That's all I'm saying.
I can't wait for him and Winston Moss to go at it, man.
I hope Coach Hayes slaps the taste right out of his mouth right there at 50 when they go to shake hands.
And like Dave said, man, Kurt Hunziker.
Great dude.
Yeah, great guy.
Dude. Talked to us before.
Yes.
We asked if we could do an interview. He's like, hey,
anytime.
Right now I can't do it
before
the show. He's like, but I'll talk to you guys off record. Told us a few things that we're not allowed to talk about.
Exactly.
Correct. Nothing like big and major, but a lot of stuff that he has planned.
Yes.
For St. Louis. So it's going to be really big. And then me and Dave interviewed him afterwards because you had to head out to Kansas City. And actually, speaking of that, that's from my co-host from Tuesday night.
That's right. She told me to get, I'll open up this at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah. Coach Hayes would definitely be Coach Fisher. Coach Fisher's a punk.
Hey, I will say this. Seeing some of the players out there, got a chance to see Luis Perez.
That's true. He looked amazing.
Yeah, and got a chance to see him out there, and he actually had his tryout today with the Carolina Panthers. So big up
Best
to
of luck to him.
Yeah, Connor Cook was there.
Yep, Connor Cook was.
I did see Zach Mettenberger. He was actually, I didn't see him out there throwing, but I did get a chance to actually see him out there. And then, what's my man, Trent Richardson?
Trent Richardson.
Yeah, so
Trent Richardson's dude. Now I'm 5 foot. I'm 5'10", right?
Yes.
Trent Richardson's my height. That little man made me look small, dude. He literally made me look tiny.
I'm gonna tell you something, folks. This piece of paper here, this is what happened this was the roster from the 13th. And Akeem Hunt was there. What's my man? Shoot, I can't think of his name. I don't want to call him by his real name.
Which guy?
His Notre Dame fool.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
His boy, Jonas Gray was out there.
Jonas Gray was out there.
Yes.
Looked good.
LaDamian Washington was out there from Mizzou. So you had some names that was out there, that especially were playing on the Birmingham Iron for for the Alliance season. Saw 3 players with those 3 guys.
Right.
Washington and Perez.
And my favorite player right now.
What's that?
Who's on the big board? The big board? Our man, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Spicer.
Who's on the big board. We asked Coach Hayes about him.
Yes, we did.
And Coach Hayes was very impressed with Jeremiah.
Very much so.
And Jeremiah had posted, you guys, listen, we will sing the praises of Jeremiah Spicer. If you haven't, go to his Facebook page, go to his Twitter page. Dude is always posting inspirational stuff all the time. He was asking people, what round do you think I'll be picked up in? I have a feeling, I think they're going to go a lot of offense in the first round. Mm-hmm. I'm saying second round he'll be picked up.
Oh,
second round. I think they're going to go a lot of offense in the first, and then second round.
They don't know if they're going. I think from what I heard, and I see David's question is, has a decision been made on how many preseason games will be played? We'll have to ask him that, but I do remember something on the verge of possible scrimmages, similar to what the Alliance did.
Right.
But again, we'll ask XFL Media, and you see we can get Oliver on the show and definitely have him talk about it a bit.
Which they are doing right now. They're doing a lot of those.
The next, this following week coming up, they're going to do the Spring League.
Yeah.
And that will feature the ESPN personalities.
Yep.
And Fox. They'll get those guys, the big guns, to come out there and see what the games look like so they can learn the rules. And, I hope the best for all of the local teams that get it. If it's us, I can't wait.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to be there.
Oh, yeah, we'll be at the games, but I'm talking about actually doing the games,
Well, that would be cool. I don't know if that's going to work for us, but we're going to try. We're going to try.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
I mean, what would be better to have the best commentators out there?
And the best XFL show on the planet.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
You're right, Dave. Let's hope that there is more than one preseason game. And the way they've been saying it really is, so they're doing all of these pickup spring games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because they're actually doing games right now.
Right.
And that's when Oliver said, there will be stuff discussed about that, and after that, and we'll be talking about it.
I want to give a big shout out to Mike Mitchell over at XFL Board. The reason why I wanted to say that, because actually he's one of the first guys that still are speaking about the XFL on the internet with the XFL Board.
Yes.
So, and it's going to be 19, 20 years coming up for Mike. And Mike, this is a big year, man. So this is your year as well. So I want to definitely give you a big shout out on the show. We have to get you on one day, man, so we can chop it up and we can talk about your experiences, covering the XFL, especially going back to 2001.
Right, yeah, exactly. And there's another guy I want to give a big shout out. I was waiting for you. I was walking over to my car, put some stuff away. I met a guy named Miles.
Yeah,
who has now been a huge fan of our show.
Yeah.
He had the He Hate Me jersey.
Now that was probably the coolest thing I seen.
Yeah.
That night, that day was the He Hate Me jersey.
That was great.
He told us that it was a gift
from his son.
I said that is a great son.
Right. Yeah. So it was cool. So we met a lot of great people, and the guy who really impressed me, though, I mean, just to see, I've never really seen like a combine or something like this up close and personal.
Uh-huh.
And it was just the way that everything was done.
Yep.
And I mean, Trenton Richardson is, I don't know how he's not in the NFL. I really do not know.
Well, a lot of people are, a lot of coaches thinking he's not NFL worthy.
I don't know how.
I mean, you got to remember, these are thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm worried about new XFL stars.
Right, yeah.
That's all I'm really thinking about at
well,
this point here.
I mean, I'm glad you said that, because there is an XFL star, and he's out there in LA. I mean, seriously, he is.
And we're going to boost him up until there is, if he plays for St. Louis, guaranteed, there's going to be a few of us getting this jersey, and we'll wear it on the show. I promise.
Oh, I guarantee, even if he doesn't play for St. Louis,
yeah,
I'm gonna wear his jersey.
Yeah, you're going to get his jersey anyway, man.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and that's true. Like Dave Burnett said, the XFL does actually own the He Hate Me trademark.
They do. All right, so let's go back to your article.
Oh yeah, let's go to Mr. John of John Turner. What's up, John? You can call in, man, anytime you want to. So, but we're talking about. He calls it a rant of mediocre proportions. Okay?
Right, exactly.
I want to get to the part where he was talking about here it is. Perfect. Slowly but surely, they filled out coaching hires. By April, release date became May, then June. What happened the last 2 months? The summer showcases. But my thing is, as he says here, would you rather them release names and logos with nobody to walk the red carpets in those uniforms?
Thank you.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah, it's cool that you got the coaching staff, but wouldn't you want some players there?
Exactly.
Wouldn't you want some players there?
And wouldn't you want to be there at the unveiling?
Yes.
At the unveiling
right.
of it? Or if that does come about. You know
exactly.
What I mean? When you want to be there?
Yeah, I agree.
Your particular team. So I'm like, them taking their time is actually the best thing that the XFL can do.
Oh, 100%.
What the Alliance did was actually surprising, okay? But now that we look at it, it seemed rushed. And that Eversol wanted to get it out there before Vince did. So
yeah, I agree.
Which lets me know, I think Charlie knew about it. Charlie knew that this was coming back. So he wanted to take a step ahead, and he wanted to get in front before Vince did.
Right.
And what it did, it burned him.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It did.
So, and that is the thing, right? The XFL is taking care of David, like David said.
Yeah, exactly.
He's taking care of the personnel. You saw all the hirings that have been made as the year has progressed. They got all of the stadium leases. They got the TV deals. And that's how you build a league.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, they've literally went from the bottom to the top.
And that's what's the most impressive about this new XFL 2.0. Yeah, we mentioned it. We got it in, Will, that the Spring League Showcase is going down the 27th through the 30th, and I think it's in California this go-round.
Yeah.
And which is actually perfect because Disney and Fox are out there anyway.
Yep.
Excuse me. So that's actually more hands-on for them. And what I'm really going to be looking forward to seeing is who's going to broadcast these games, who's going to bring forth the action every single day. Right, and bills are definitely going to be paid. As a matter of fact,
Yeah, right?
Stefan just put out an article on XFL 2K about that Vince was putting in more stock, selling more stock.
Exactly.
So what is going to happen is Vince is making sure that all bets are off and that all bills will be paid.
Oh, you're 100%
And so
he is.
that is the coolest thing about the XFL. I mean, if you it's either you with it or you're not.
What's up? There's the man. Hey, Jeremiah, you know the number.
Hey, you see the number down. Scroll.
No, don't have him call. He knows the backline number.
Oh, he got the back line.
You got the backline number, brother. You have an open door to call in anytime you want. But there is the man right there.
Stop hitting the TV, man.
Yeah. I want to see you know what? That would be a really good idea. Seeing Kurt Warner as an analyst.
Yes, that would be great.
It would be great.
I would also like to see he also mentioned in the article that female broadcasters.
Yes.
If there's anything that I'm seeing right now with this league, is that this league could show its difference from the NFL by putting in more female broadcasters.
Not just that. Let's really look at what this league has done. You know, WWE over the years and Vince McMahon over the years has had a thing with not giving minorities a lot of opportunities.
Right.
But this league, he is giving an entire No, please.
No, David. Sorry.
No.
Nope.
Oh, I like Tim Brando.
Hey, I heard that.
That would be
Brando
good.
said he wanted to call games, but no, David.
I don't want Mike Bush. I don't want Steve Savard.
I'll take him over Steve.
No,
I like Mike's
no.
calls more than Steve's.
No, I don't want Mike Bush.
But my thing is this. If it's going to be somebody, it's got to be a fresh face.
Yes.
If that's what this league is all about.
Uh-oh.
Fresh faces. Is that my man?
I think so.
All right.
Let's get it.
You got him there?
Caller, you are live. Go ahead. Caller, you there?
Yeah, Jeremiah Spicer.
What's up, my man? How are you, sir?
Good, man. Just got done training, man, and got my daughter right now.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Bad
hey,
man.
thanks for taking some time out of your day with the daughter to give us a call.
Yeah.
You saw the video of what Coach Hayes said about you.
You said what?
You saw the video of what Coach Hayes said about you when we asked him about you.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen
Yeah.
where you're at on the big board.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now, knowing that it's getting closer? And I think you just did something with the Chargers, correct?
Yeah, man. I'm just taking one day at a time still, man. I ain't trying to catch no type of emotions or nothing like that right now. I'm just trying to, keep it serious, keep it business. Wait for that day to come,
So modest, man. He's so modest.
Dude, you literally are one of the most modest people I've ever talked to or met in my entire life, man. You are an amazing person.
Yeah, man. I'm just, it'll be lovely, to get on with the Chargers, man. I'm waiting, man. I'm on that call, and still talking to the Cleveland Browns right now, to Alonzo Highsmith. So, anything can happen,
Right,
But
exactly.
whatever,
No matter where you go, man. Was that you?
Oh, we got a caller, somebody. Have him call your phone.
Yeah, tell him.
All right, sorry about that, Jeremiah. No matter where you go, XFL STL Talk Show, we will be your biggest supporter. So no matter where you go, we're your supporter, man.
Thank you, man.
So my question is, I saw that you posted, you saw that you made the big board. You said, where do you guys think where I'm gonna go? Now, here's my prediction. Don't get mad at me. I think first round they're gonna go more offense.
Quarterback, offensive lineman.
Yep.
He got it.
So I'm saying second round, somebody's picking you up, and it better be St. Louis.
Man, I'm trying to be a first round draft pick too, man.
Hey, I would love for you to be the first pick. I would love for you to be the first pick, but I'm just going, realistically, there's a chance, but I don't care. Anywhere you go, I'm buying your jersey, man.
Oh yeah, that is a given, man.
All right.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, Jeremiah, we appreciate you calling in. Why don't you plug your camp, your website, Twitter page, all that stuff?
Hey, yeah, my Twitter's KingStruck24. Hit me up, man. My Instagram is StruckTheWorld33, man. Hit me up. All right, man. Peace.
All right, thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
There he is.
That's Jeremiah
Spicer. The dude's a beast. He literally is probably one of the most inspirational.
And you know, I wanted to ask him how he felt about that.
I didn't want to take up too much time. He's with his daughter.
I know. Yeah, and I was saying, I was thinking of you know, how the XFL has been treating them. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
XFL, the league itself, is, you know, giving them a lot of love too. So I'm like, here we are, and I'm like, this is a great opportunity for him to showcase himself.
Right.
And it's going to be a big thing if he does play in the league.
Right. Martin Kilcorn.
No.
Dan McLaughlin, if he stays off the booze, I can handle him.
Then I think he's enjoying his time with just being with the Cardinals.
I think so.
And I mean, he did Blues action for some years, but I think he just really want to focus on the Cardinals. And I don't think that the Cardinals going to really let him out of doing other things. Now, if he does do it, perfect.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, right. I don't think so either. And I mean, I'll agree with Dave when he says that the showcase was a first-class operation. Yes. I mean, they literally took care of everybody there.
Right. And
very well.
Everybody that went to the Chalk Talk, big ups to you guys because they did it big that day too.
And again, that was the biggest crowd that they had.
Yep.
And they said that it was the most interaction that they had with any of the fans was through the Chalk Talk. And I mean, and those guys, is he calling?
Yeah.
All right. And they went over too.
I'm gonna just call him.
Call him back here. Call him back.
All right, we're gonna get him in here.
You know,
in a second. But yeah, I was like,
Now I see. Now Dave brings up some good points that they think that a lot of the personalities would be with Fox.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just call him. Okay, here we go.
Need to go call, man.
What's up, Al? How's it going? Hold on.
That was me.
Oh, there we go. Al, you there?
I sure am.
How you doing, Al?
What's up, Al?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
We got you, man.
Hello?
Wait, well, you can't hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
sir.
hear you.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear you.
there you go. So, Al,
All right.
first, great article.
Thank you.
Very good article that you wrote. What with your article, what is your perspective of the XFL?
Well, first, when I wrote this article, it was in response to Ben Fredrickson of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, who writes for Sports Article, and somebody wrote an article about.
We
lost him.
So we're gonna call him here.
Gonna call him there.
We lost signal on the.
No, we lost. I think it's him.
It's saying emergency calls only.
Did you not pay the bill?
I pay my bill, man. I always pay my bills. Hey, but that happens sometimes.
Well, we have signal here.
Yeah.
So, all right, Al, call back in. Call back in. It happens.
He was going to talk a bit about the article that.
Oh,
all right, Al, there you are.
Okay. It was in response to it from an article that I read from somebody was asking a question of Ben Fredrickson of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch about the XFL, whether the team would be up there with the likes of the St. Louis Blues and the St. Louis Cardinals. And basically, he said, they have a lot of football fans. Of course, people in St. Louis, they love football. If it's good football, if it's ran correctly, and if the team is winning. But, ever since the Rams left St. Louis and the way how Stan Kroenke, just tarnished the image of St. Louis, there's been a lot of, apathy, like, oh, good, ho-hum, yeah, we got a football team, but, it's not the National Football League.
Right.
And
Right.
in response to my article, I just basically said that, this is going to have to be a grassroots movement. You just going to have to let just, people from, like your guys are going to have to be the movement that that supports this XFL football team, and not the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Fox Local Sports and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, the two franchises, the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals and the St. Louis Blues, are more geared up to trying to bring Major League Soccer to St. Louis.
Correct.
Right. That is right.
That's where they're right now focusing on right now. The XFL, first of all, is owned. All 8 teams are owned by one person
Right.
right now. So that means they'll get some support. They'll get some support, but it's got to be a grassroots movement, because don't expect the Cardinals organization or the Blues organization, to really, help the XFL team in St. Louis. They probably will in a limited basis, but right now it's the grassroots. It's the in the zones that's going to do it. It's your guys' show, and it's the people who want football. They're going to be the ones that are going to have to support the XFL team.
100%. And we have on here Will, who says that he was not surprised that most of the people there were the ticket deposit holders either. So, I mean,
Right.
so that was the thing, is we had a very, very good turnout there for that show. And then Dave from A Football World says he thinks that, now what do you think of this, Al, is that he says that I think the local media will hop on the bandwagon once the teams get their identity.
Yes, I think once the team gets their identity, and once the season starts, starts to happen and everything, I think people will start getting on the bandwagon and everything else. I also think the team's going to be well supported. If they start winning games, it's going to be well supported, because look at the history of pro football in St. Louis.
Right, correct.
I think the winning percentage is way below 500. I was reading something, and it's like 4.3%, no, 2.3% winning percentage, with, the Cardinals, who were there for 27 years, never had hosted a playoff game, and had such a losing record there. And even the Rams, though, despite going to the Super Bowl and winning it, it was worse than the St. Louis Football Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct. It was.
Yeah, it was worse. It was actually bad. It was because, don't forget that 4 seasons, when the Rams only won 15 games and lost like 65 games.
Yeah, something like that.
Right, it was a span that way.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was the reason why the Rams record in St. Louis is worse than the Cardinals
Right.
record and everything.
Now you're down there in Springfield. You're affiliated with In the Zone, which what the XFL Talk Show is. It's in a co-production of One Universal Production and In the Zone. What's the take down there in Springfield? What are you hearing down there in Springfield about the XFL? Be honest.
I'll be honest with you, it's not growing. It's not growing because, unfortunately, because this is Chiefs country.
Ooh.
Springfield, Missouri is Chiefs country. The Blues are really taking over Springfield, believe it or not.
I'm not surprised, because anytime that you have a championship-winning a championship-winning team, such as the St. Louis Blues, it's going to take over the entire state, because Kansas City does not have a hockey team.
Right. Now, Al, you do realize when Jeremiah Spicer gets picked up by the Chargers, you're going to have to be a Charger fan. You do realize that, right? Because we're supporters of him.
I'm going to be pulling for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, but you still have to pull for the
Steelers. I also occasionally pull for the Cardinals as well too. I still got my love for the football Cardinals. I used to be a Rams fan, but after the way how Stan Kroenke trashed St. Louis, forget it. That's another thing too about this, about this XFL movement. I also posted a story on Facebook to all the St. Louis football Cardinal fans and everything else. It's led by Bob Underwood, great guy. I'm glad he posts all the memorabilia of the football Cardinals and everything else.
Right.
And, there are people who say they will support it, but there are some who say, there's some who are just, just pause to say, I'll wait, because again, you still got a lot of people in St. Louis who are really hurt the way how, past ownerships
Yep.
have gone.
Yep.
Dropping putting bad product on the field.
Yep.
Arguing and fussing about new stadiums and everything else.
Yep. That's true.
That's what really hurt, football in St. Louis. Whether it's St. Louis County or downtown St. Louis arguing who should get the stadium over the football Cardinals and everything else, and they had to move, or the city of St. Louis and the former governor Jay Nixon, who did all that effort trying to keep the Rams in St. Louis, but then Steve Kroenke goes up there and says St. Louis is a two-sport city.
Well, I mean, that's Kroenke for you. But, and then before we let you go, Will, I'll say this. Al, my bad. I'll say this. I can't blame Kroenke for doing what he did. He had an $800 million team, left to go to L.A., went from $800 million overnight to a $2 billion franchise. I can't blame him for that.
I mean, it would have been, listen, it would have been absolutely better if you were just flat out and just say, look, guys, you guys are great, you're a good market and everything else, but unfortunately, if I'm going to move, I'm going to have to move the franchise, because if I do, the value of the team is going to go up and everything else.
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
You're
right. He should have decided.
But maybe, as a gift, I might help you, I might advise, Vince McMahon, if the two are friends, maybe put a football team in St. Louis.
Right.
And if the team is supported well and everything else, who knows? Dare I say the NFL might want to consider coming back to St. Louis?
Yeah. Well, I don't want them back. We got the XFL. Our commissioners.
Yeah, we got the XFL. I'm gonna write an article, in the next couple of days or so, maybe a week or so, about, on why we should support the XFL and give it a shot.
Okay, there you go.
All right, Al, I appreciate you, man. And of course, you are always welcome to come on the show, and we'll be waiting for your next article. All right.
Okay, and thank you very much. You guys all have a nice evening.
You too, man.
Al Fennell, man, one of our guest contributors for Alliance to XFL, did a wonderful job on his latest article. As you are listening to and watching the XFL STL live talk show right here on One Universal Production, which is co-produced the Zone Network. I am the A-Train, Arlington Lane. Beside me is Dirty,
the unprofessional professional.
I'll let him say that.
It's sitting in the studio. We got to really watch our stuff now, because
coming up next is the MMWA talk show.
Yeah, the commissioner's here.
Yeah, his commissioner's
He's going to be talking to my lawyer later today, though. So I got
what
to
did
tell
you do, man?
Yeah,
They'll talk about.
They allowed me to get beat. I do like. Yeah, I know. I do like what Dave says here. Mike Jones is a color analyst.
If he is interested, I would not mind seeing him there. And you know what? I would not mind if Isaac Bruce wanted to take that particular position.
That's true.
Being in the booth. I mean, you have opportunities. I think what's going to happen is like David said above it, is that one-on-one ESPN. I take that back.
Oh, here we go.
Is that who is that, my buddy?
I don't know. They hung up.
All right.
Somebody from New York.
I'm going to say this, David, is that I think that on one-on-one ESPN is not going to take the XFL. And the reason why I say that is because you got the St. Louis Blues just signed over with one-on-one ESPN. Mm-hmm. So they're going to make that commitment before they even dare make a commitment to the XFL. So if anything, any AM radio station will take the XFL.
Yeah.
Even the unthinkable KMOX could take it.
That is true. I mean, if anything, I would see him going to 590.
I think that's where they're going to wind up.
Or you never know. They could just come right here to the XFL Stl Talk Show, and we could be the ones doing it.
You know what? Anything is possible here.
You never know.
And I'm not upset about that.
I ain't either.
And and it's like you said, Oliver Luck was very pleased with the response that he's been getting with civic and business leaders here in St. Louis. So it let you know that even though the fans may not be behind it, but the leadership here in St. Louis is. Mm-hmm. And so that is what's important. Mm-hmm. Because if you're talking about civic pride in this city and trying to rebuild back up, that could be very encouraging coming into the future.
100%.
And thinking about like what Al had said about, the Cardinals and the Blues trying to get back behind MLS, because think about it, the friendlies that they keep having at Busch Stadium, they keep drawing 40,000 fans.
Easily 40 every time.
And the 20,000 seater that they about to embark on, that's going to be nothing.
Right, exactly. And I do like this, the Dave Peacock, who was unsuccessful at building the new stadium for the Rams, but he's been very successful in the talks with the MLS. I hope he plays a big role with the XFL.
This is, believe it or not, as much as I want Dave in it, I don't think he's even needed for this with this effort, because it's already the groundwork has already been laid. They already got the deals.
Right.
So I'm like, what could really go wrong with it? Caller, you're live.
You're live, caller. I have a feeling I know who it is.
Hello.
Yeah. You know who this is, don't you?
Do I?
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
It's got a smoke detector going. Is this John?
Yeah. Heavy smoker over here.
There you go. What's up, man? How's it going?
Spectacular. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good. So what do you got for us?
Well, I wanted to talk about the expectations for the offenses for the 8 teams that are going to be playing in the league.
Okay. Go.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go.
You go ahead, man.
You're the caller. Go. What's your expectation?
So I'm going to go ahead and call out your squad as a 2-back system, likely.
Okay.
Possession wide receivers. We're talking about your traditional style tight end that only gets a cookie once or twice a game.
Okay.
I don't think John Hayes is going to do that because he was a tight end himself.
Yeah, I know, but he wasn't the pass-catching variety tight end. See, he knows how to block, unlike these new age guys out
That's
here.
true. Yeah, you got a point.
Right.
And you got to look at the guys that he's hiring to help him on offense and look at where they've gone, too. So moving on. Let's come over to D.C., where I'm at.
Okay, let's go.
A lot of 11 personnel packages. We're probably talking 3 wide, 2 running back packages. Okay, so that's the 21 personnel and 11 personnel. Probably going to throw some 10 personnel in there as well. This is Pep Hamilton. This is what he did from going from Stanford to Indianapolis to Michigan. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right.
So I haven't seen anybody that he's hired to help him on offense. It looks like they're going to switch that up.
Okay.
This guy is very good at working with quarterbacks, starting with the commissioner's son.
You got a point there.
Kevin Gilbride usually takes 2 years to get his offense going. Hopefully with the year, hey, look at the history. Hopefully with the year, with this year, everybody's starting at ground zero, no pun intended with New York, that he can get up and running at high octane going in the first year here. His offense can be timing-based and complicated. If you've got knuckleheads or guys that don't do their homework, I happen to think that as far as the East is concerned, he might be the slowest offense to get off the ground and going.
Okay.
Who I think has the advantage in the Eastern Conference is Mark Trestman. He is going to have the most cohesive coaching unit in the league, who has worked together more often than not over any other coaching staff throughout this league. Mark Trestman, one thing that people have always complained about is finishing drives, finishing seasons, so on and so forth. Well, luckily for him, the season's only 10 games long.
John,
okay, so
let me cut you off there. We want you to do the West on next week.
Yeah, dude, let's do the West next week.
We'll do the West next week.
I got the West right now.
We short on time,
we
man.
got 5 minutes
we
left.
short on time. Oh, okay.
All right. See you later.
No, whoa. All right, go ahead, man.
We just got the sign to keep going because we're waiting on somebody.
You want the West?
Go for it.
Right. Well, let's talk about the East real quick, okay?
I'm going to write all this anyway. I'm going to drop an article saying everything that I'm telling you tonight anyway. Right. But long story short, you got June Jones in Texas. That's air raid. He will have the least amount of rushes in the league next to Mark Trestman's offense. Mark Trestman will pass the ball 66% of the time.
Okay.
June Jones will be right up there, if not more, as far as passing attempts is concerned. I can predict not only will Johnny Manziel, Darrell Walker, and more than likely Ja'Garrett Davis will end up in Houston. Okay, These guys are on the last year of their Canadian Football League deal or no longer playing in any league in Johnny Manziel. So they are familiar with June Jones already, his system, and he is the one that got Bo Levi Mitchell, if you even know who that is, and Ja'Garrett Davis to come up to the CFL to begin with. So he runs a run-and-shoot offense, typically 3 wide, 2 backs, or 4 wide in the back. There will be no motion versus Mark Trestman, who will have the most motion in the league, pre-snap. June Jones pretty much says, this is your spot every single down. You will line up right there. And run-and-shoot is basically the wide receivers have the option to change their routes during the play. Right. Okay, they're going to base where they run off of the coverage that they're being given by the secondary or the linebackers playing underneath. That will determine where the passing routes go. So June Jones' quarterback next to Kevin Gilbride probably have to be the most intelligent quarterback in the league. Okay, now let's go back to Mark Trestman. Every single quarterback that's ever worked with Mark Trestman, starting with Dan Marino, Steve Young in his prime. We're talking, he made a pretty darn good ball player out of, I can't remember right now, but go back to June Jones. Look at all the numbers guys like Colt Brennan put up.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you can expect.
Got a point.
Okay, the guy went up to the CFL, and in half of a season, took a team that was like 2-6, and they ended up with the best offense in the entire Canadian Football League by the end of the year.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so, and they didn't even give him the head coaching job. Silly, isn't it? Yeah. So, let's go up the state and slightly to the west to Dallas. The most, if not the second most, defensive team in the XFL will be in Dallas. Almost guarantee it. Quarterback, my man Bob Stoops, old number 1 signed coach in the league. He is a defensive-minded guy first. He has hired Mike Riley, I believe. Is that who got Riley?
Yeah.
Did he get Riley?
Yeah.
Did he get Riley or did Seattle get Riley? I can't remember.
No, he's in Dallas.
Okay, so long story short, what you're looking at is probably the best defensive and best offensive lines in the XFL will reside in Dallas. I can almost guarantee that. They'll probably have the best running game in the league in XFL Dallas. Okay, they will almost have...
No. Riley was hired by Seattle.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He said it was not hired by.
They're going to have the best battle of the trenches, defense and offensive line. I can almost promise that the best lines will be in Dallas. They will probably have the best safety in the league, and they will probably have the most accurate, least interception-prone quarterback in the league. All right, so, but they're not going to put up tremendous offensive numbers. The strength of that team will be in the defense, just like it will be in Los Angeles with Winston Moss and Pepper Johnson, 2 defensive-minded guys, both linebackers, both come out of systems. Moss at Green Bay for 1,000 years. And Pepper Johnson came out from underneath Bill Parcells and coached through Bill Belichick. I mean, these guys are just proven defensive-minded coaches. They brought in Norm Chow. Now, if anybody knows anything about Norm Chow, you know that this guy is very good at working with quarterbacks and wide receivers. He is not so much a big running game coach, but he will, however, put up gaudy, just ridiculous numbers offensively. And it's a very good, interesting mix that they have down there in Southern California. Oh, by the way, Norm Chow was where? UCLA.
USC.
Okay. So then we go up to Seattle. Jim Zorn. I can almost promise you Jim Zorn will have the most trick plays in his playbook of any coach in the league. Okay, Jim Zorn is a West Coast variation quarterback and coaching style guy. A lot of the quarterbacks that he has worked with, from Joe Flacco to Jason Campbell, have all experienced the best years statistically of their career while he was their quarterback coach. Okay, so there you have it. There's the entire league. You've got 8 teams. You've got 8 personalities and identities. Okay, so never mind all these idiots that want team names. They don't know if the ball's stuffed up or pumped. I'm here to tell you that they're going to produce good football in the league. All right? So you're welcome. Have a good night.
John is fired up tonight.
And we bid adieu to John. I appreciate it.
And Leon's mad. You're right, Leon. He was hired by Seattle.
That's correct. Hal Mom is the Dallas offensive coordinator.
Right. The guy that was on air was
John of a
Turner
football world.
Of a football world. So, I mean, the man eats, sleeps XFL just like we do. You know, it's live, so sometimes you make some mistakes. So
right, we got to remember we're grassroots folks, and we're gonna be the big guns in the grassroots movement.
That's right.
You understand?
And
so
Leon,
mistakes are going to happen. Hey, Leon, guess what?
You could call
on the next show.
Week.
It's yours.
Yeah,
it's all yours, baby.
Next week.
You got it.
And with that being said,
coming up next, the MMWA Wrestling Show with Dirty's going to be back, and the commissioner Jim Harris is going to be joined with that. And whatever they got going on, I want you to tune in to the show. Hey, we'll be back again on next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on One Universal Productions.
Yep.
Get your call at 314-448-9670. Find us on Facebook. You can find us at Alliance to XFL. Go to alliance2xfl.com. And I'm the A-Train, Arlington Lane, signing off. That is the unprofessional professional himself,
Dirty. And we will see you guys next week.